All right, I bet you didn't know I was so talented. Look at me, I juggled. Okay, I don't know where the third one is, but two of them I'm definitely pretty good at. Hey, you want to know something? Pine cone season is kind of like all the time. You could buy these in the store, you could find them in the street, you could go to the parks and find them. You see, pine cones, they actually hang around on the trees for a really long period of time, and then they slowly open. So if you were to look at this right here, you'll see that how tiny this is and how tight knit it is. Well, technically speaking, it's not ready, it's not ripe. But this one right here, different story altogether. You see how these are all spread out? Well, at one time, there were little seeds inside here. They opened up and they just kind of flew away. So that being said, you can get them all the time. And what's cool about this, there's so many projects that you can do with these things. And I started thinking about doing something in the lines of a table setting because they are so awesome. So once you find these things, you want to make sure that all the insects are out of them. So put them inside a microwave and make sure that you nuke them for about 20-30 seconds. That should kill anything that's in there. If not, surprise, it's not going to hurt you or anything like that. So let's start off with some very simple ways of doing this. The first thing that we have here is a very tall planter or tall vase. Inside the vase, we decided that what we're going to do is pour some walnuts. You take the walnuts, you pour them inside, kind of click them down like this, and try to make this surface as level as possible. And the reason that we want to make it level is because we're going to take and we're going to decorate it by putting a candle inside. Is this cool? And then what you could do is that you could actually put a bow around here based on the season. 4th of July, put red, white, and blue. If it's for, Thanksgiving, you could put green and orange. If it's for Christmas, who knows? You just keep on going with that. And then what you do is that you put this in the center of your table. You're gonna, they always told me not to play with fire. And you light this thing. Voila, look at this. It's magic. We have fire. Okay, so we're gonna take this and put this over here, and that thing just makes a wonderful, wonderful centerpiece. You can actually take and put a couple more pine cones around here to kind of continue the theme. Since we started off with pine cones and started talking about walnuts, okay, now speaking of pine cones and walnuts, look what we have over here. Just remember, 3 is company. It's actually a 2 is company, 3 is a crowd. But in this particular instance, this works out really well where we took off the top of the pine cone. We just kind of cut those off, and we have this, and look how beautiful that is. Now here's the other thing. You can change the color on these pine cones anytime you want. Get yourself some spray paint and just paint them. Because if you look real close in here in our little cornucopia, we happen to have a pine cone that is just popping outside of this. This pine cone is just screaming, look at me. See? So we have a pine cone that's right in here, and it's offset so much. Now, mind you, cornucopias, again, they're just not for Thanksgiving. They can be done any time of the year. Painted a different color. Painted red, paint them black, paint them orange, and pay attention to just the tips. You don't have to get the paint way down inside of it. That is not necessary. Here's another table setting thing that you can do. This right here is kind of fun to where you probably already have a bowl at home, and we've collected some pine cones. Go to the park, go for walks, pick them up. It's fine. Remember, you got to do that microwave thing. And then what you do is you get yourself some, let's keep it as organic as possible. We've got ourselves some almonds. Yeah, I love almonds. Do you remember that show where we took almonds, we took raw almonds, and we made almond milk out of it for coffee? Oh, that was so good. Okay, now what we're going to do is that we're going to take and put another candle in here. Now, the candle can be big ones, they could be small ones. There's no rules to what we're doing. Just kind of decide for yourself. So what we're going to do, we have the almonds in here, and we're going to push this guy inside. In fact, I probably should have done a little bit differently and poured it around. Okay, there we go. This is just a little candle holder, nothing fancy. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Think outside the box here for a second. We're going to put the candle a little off-centered, okay? We're going to put the candle off-centered, put this right in the center, just like this. And then we take our pine cones and we'll kind of just lay them around. Put them in the front, put them on the side. They don't have to be standing up. They could be sideways. They could be any way that you want it, like this. Isn't this kind of interesting how this is all coming together? And don't be afraid. You don't have to use every single one of them. And then we take and we light this one up. Is it me or is it starting to get hot in here with all these flames? Anyway, there you go. That's another one for you. And look at that, isn't that cool? You can make 1, 2, 3, depending on how many bowls and pots. So you don't have any bowls or pots or containers like that? Hey, get yourself a dish, some type of a dish, and we're going to dish this one out. This right here is also another fun one, to where we're just going to take one candle and we're going to put it on the side right here. And then we're going to take and we're going to put 2 tea candles on this side. Now, this is real important because we do things in odd numbers. It's kind of like they do in museums. 1, 3s, and 5s. That's where this comes all together. Then what we do is that we just start getting our little, we have baby ones here, little tiny ones. See how tiny these are? These are so cute, as opposed to the real huge ones that we have. See, pine cones come in all different sizes. As I mentioned, you go to a craft store, you can buy these things. In fact, let's take these tea candles out right here. You can buy these at the craft store. Just decorate them just like this. Throw them around. I like the ideas of the smaller ones, so let's put smaller ones in here. And notice how this lone pine cone inside here, our painted one, see how it's just, bam, it just popped out. It's so cool. You could do the same thing. Yeah, you know what? You could do this. You could put the pine cones like this, and you could put your tea candles like this. You make sure that your tea candles are not touching the pine cones, because all of a sudden things are going to go up in flames. I kind of like that. And then again, there's no rules or regulations. Just make sure your flame isn't going to be touching anything. This is something that the kids can help out with, which is really awesome. And did you know that how pine cones need to be scarified? At least the seeds need to be scarified. That doesn't mean you walk up to it and go, boo. What happens is that in nature, when there's a pine cone on the tree and they open up, and there's fire actually comes up, will engulf this, make it super, super hot, and then the thing kind of explodes. And then you remember that little flying that I talked about? The little seed has like a paper wing attached to it. And the wind and the flames will actually take and throw that seed a distance away. It'll land on the ground. The heat will help do this scarification process, which is nothing more than just making it really hot. And it helps the plant germinate so much easier and so much quicker. So this was really exciting stuff. I'm glad that we were able to put this together for you here, because there's so many different options for you to do. There are no rules, as I mentioned earlier. Play with it, be safe with it, and then look how cool this is. Man, imagine, you can actually just have this whole thing just kind of going crazy. Look what we did over here. We took a teacup, turned it on its side, put a pine cone in front of it. Yeah, that's the way to do that. Oh, wait a minute. This is what we're supposed to do. I take that back. We were supposed to put them inside here. I didn't even see that. That's why. Oh, man. I'm glad we figured this one out. I'm glad I saw them. Ah, this makes much more sense. Nothing's going to catch on fire. All right, I'll tell you what. Maybe I should go back in the garden, because that's where I really excel. It's pretty much just that simple.